Floyd Hanamann. Floyd Hanamann.
Mann.
Yes.
So Hanamann is German?
I can talk German.
Oh, so it's a German name, right?
German name.
Okay.
Any name with two N's on the end is German.
You make it easy. Hanamann.
Yeah.
And what is your birthday?
2/28/29.
So you born in the year of Great Depression. It's a Great Depression baby.
Yes, I remember it good.
And where were you born?
Kewaunee County in Wisconsin.
Could you spell it? Kewaunee?
Kewaunee is Kewaunee. Wisconsin. WIS.
Yep. And tell me about your family background, your parents and your siblings when you're growing up.
I was on the farm with my parents. The farm was from my grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
Them years they've handed farms to one generation to the other. And I stayed there till I was drafted in the Army.
So what school did you go through?
I only went to the 8th grade.
8th grade?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Were there one-room school?
One-room school.
Wow. Tell me about one-room school. How was it?
Very good.
Really?
We all got along good. There was 32 in the school when I was there. None of them turned out bad. All good. All got married, jobs, family. Nowadays, it's no good.
It's amazing, isn't it, that all the children's in a one-room school and there's no problem, right?
That's right.
And we have a lot of problem now with
Worse
this.
than ever.
Yeah. So, tell me, did you learn anything about Korea there?
No. I didn't know there was such a country.
You didn't know?
No.
Did you know about China and Japan?
Very little.
Very little, but you knew it.
I knew that was there. Mostly about World War I.
So, when did you join the military?
I was drafted on May 23rd, 1951.
23rd? No.
What?
May 23rd,
1951.
51. Drafted to the army?
Yes.
And where did you get the basic military training?
Fitzsimmons Army Hospital, Denver, Colorado.
Uh-huh. Why hospital?
Hospital, yeah.
So, were you the medic?
Yes.
I see. Tell me about the training that you got as a medic. What kind of training did you get?
I got training to take care of the psychiatric people. And I stayed at Fitzsimmons for 1 year, working in the hospital, taking care of the what would you call it, psychiatric, and it was not very easy.
Right.
We had vicious soldiers that got hurt in the Korean War up here.
Tell me about it. What kind of symptoms did they have?
Some of them were completely out of their mind.
Uh-huh.
Some of them were mean, because that's all they had in, when they got either shell-shocked or, and I often think about it today.
Wow. So, you dealt with the Korean War veterans who had that disease,
Yes,
psychiatric problem.
yes.
So where
They
did
called it C-17.
C-17? Why is it
I
C-17?
don't know.
So
That's what they called the place where I worked in. I did my training there
where was it, in the Denver?
in Denver, Colorado.
So how many patients did you? I mean, did
Oh.
C-17 have?
There was, well, 12 of us corpsmen. We each had, well, something like here, you know. We would have maybe 25 bad ones, you know. That some of them were in a room and all they had was a mattress. If they had furniture, they'd smash that.
So that they self-damaged them.
Yeah. It was the worst experience we had. We took one to Lurie Air Base in Colorado Springs. Big black soldier. I bet he weighed over 300. We put him in a straitjacket to transfer him. 6 of us went because we were scared of him. We gets to the airport, he breaks the shackles loose. 6 of us jumped on top of him because he was terrible. Then we had extra straitjacket, so we put it on top of him, and then we took rope so he couldn't. It was terrible.
You are a big man,
Yes,
but he was much bigger.
that's the reason they put me there. When I went into the service,
Next search,
I
please
weighed
call 2264.
235
Next search,
pounds.
Please call 2264.
that's the reason they put me there. They always kidded me. They won't be bouncing you around.
What was your unit actually?
The 34th General Hospital,
34th
34.
General Hospital. That's
Yes.
it. And that belonged to any division or anything like that?
No,
No, it was just independent.
independent.
And what was your rank?
Corporal.
Corporal? So you were stationed in Denver.
In Denver for 12 months.
And then from there, where did you go?
Then we had orders to go to Japan to put up our hospital.
Uh-huh.
We were all happy. We were going to see the world. And about 2 days later, they came back. They said we were going to Germany. We were very disappointed.
Why?
Well, in Germany, there was, we were supposed to go to Landstuhl, Germany, and there was nothing there. They were starting to build it. We were very disappointed because we were all trained to help the wounded. We gets over there, nothing to do.
Then why do you go?
Ask the government.
So that's the point that you want to make, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So they were building the barracks. Well, we helped them, you know, with stuff. But they gave us 3-day passes,
Uh-huh.
as much as we wanted to go to get rid of us.
Get rid of you. What does that mean?
I traveled all over Europe.
Uh-huh. And what else did you do?
I went to Paris, Holland, Austria, Switzerland, different parts of Germany.
Was that just travel or was it mission?
What?
Was that only travel or was it mission?
It was a 3-day pass
Uh-huh.
that they gave us to get rid of us.
They don't need you.
It was very sad.
Yeah.
Boy, there's nothing worse when you got nothing to do. And you're young and full of energy.
Right. So when did you finish that?
I got called home on emergency furlough. Our first daughter passed away.
Your first daughter?
I'd come back in February.
Were you married at the time?
Yes, I was.
And you were not with your family there? Okay. And what happened to your daughter?
She was born with an open heart.
Ah, that's
She
bad.
lived 4 months.
I'm sorry to hear that.
So,
What was her name?
Susan.
Susan.
But I never got home for the funeral because it was Washington's birthday and everything was closed.
Huh.
Then when I did go, I left Frankfurt, Germany on a cargo plane to come back to the United States.
Ah.
I landed in Westover, Massachusetts. Then I flew to Washington, D.C., and then from there to Green Bay. Then I was home.
So so you never went to Japan? You were very disappointed.
Very disappointed.
And what did you do after you come home?
I farmed.
You did
I
go
was
back
a
to
farmer.
what kind of farm are you talking about?
Dairy farm, and I raised some beef.
Ah,
My parents were very good to me. I was only 24 years old when I came back. And they, might as well say, they borrowed me the money to buy the farm. They put me on there, I should say.
is it hard to take care of cow? Is it hard, difficult to take care of cow?
No,
Is it easy?
that's easy.
But you have to squeeze the milk too.
Well, they get milking machines for that. I grew up on a farm, and when I was 14 years old out of grade school, I took interest in how to run all the machinery. My dad could see that I was going to be a farmer, and I liked it.
So when you were growing up, did you have a hard time to find the food because of the Great Depression?
In the start, it got better about 1938. But I can always, my folks were on his dad's farm, but in 38, they moved to my mother's farm. But there was a time when my mom would say, we got no money, but we always had plenty to eat.
Plenty to
We
eat.
were on a farm.
Okay.
We would raise pigs and chickens and butcher them, can. Them days, there was no refrigerator. You canned everything. And we survived.
And you didn't use any medicine to raise,
No,
right? So it was a clean and very good meat, right?
that's the trouble today.
What is the trouble today? Tell me about it.
Today they use too much chemicals. They're spraying everything. We never did. I didn't do that when I farmed either. Because that's a poison.
Yeah.
And they spray apples now 8 times, and you eat that. Some of that's got to get in there. Gotta.
Yeah.
It's my grandpa and grandma, they lived, and on my dad's side, they lived to be 93, 92. I had uncles that got to be 90, 85.
And tell me more about the Korean War veterans that had a problem, psychiatric problem that you have to address. How was it, and what did you feel about it when do you see them?
I felt sorry for them. The worst was, they don't do that no more. They had a table, and they would lay that person on there, strap him down, and give him shock treatments. His body would raise off of that table this much.
Oh,
It was terrible.
you saw them.
And we had to be there, and then the alcoholics, they give them enough, they would put something in their drink. I hate to talk about it.
Please.
They would vomit, and they had the diarrhea so bad, cramps in their belly.
Uh-huh.
That was to make them quit drinking. Then we had to clean the mess up, and I just hated that.
Uh-huh.
It was terrible.
And they are the Korean War veteran at the time?
Yes, they were all from Korea.
So they brought back from Korea
Yes,
to be treated.
to be treated at Fitzsimmons Army Hospital.
What is that?
They come back to
What is the hospital name?
Fitzsimmons,
F.
F-I-T-Z, I don't know, M-O-N-S, something like that.
Fitzsimmons?
Yes. That was a big hospital. It's tore down now.
Where was it?
Denver, Colorado.
And were you able to talk with those Korean War veterans who came back with the disease? Were you able to talk to those Korean War
Yes.
veterans? What do they say?
Nothing made sense. They were still thinking they were in Korea. You know,
Uh-huh. They thought that they are still in Korea.
yeah.
And
They would tell us things. Well, maybe they were true and maybe they weren't, you know. But and we had to treat them good. We could not hit them or nothing. That we couldn't do. If we did, we'd get court-martialed. We tried to help them.
so, any particular episode you remember? One Korean War veteran who had a problem that you had to deal? Anything that you want to share?
Well, when they came out of the dining room from eating, we had to search their pockets for knives or forks. And they would try and hide that to hurt somebody, you know, because in their mind they had
Enemies around them.
enemy to destroy the enemy. It was not very nice. They'd stand in line. Sometimes they'd get in a boxing match. You know how they couldn't help it. They were disturbed. And we'd have to go in between and talk to them. And I often think of that, how I survived. It was not very nice.
Were there any fake patients? Fake? No?
It was just one of them. Yeah, and the bad ones that we couldn't help, they went someplace else, to different place where they tried to.
Were there any patients who were discharged from that Fitzsimmons hospital?
Oh yes, some of them got better.
Uh-huh.
Oh yeah.
Tell me about it.
Well, when they thought they were pretty good. They would send them to some kind of a camp someplace to rehabilitate, to relax and play ball maybe, or exercise, or watch the movies, or things like that. And sometimes some would come back, but most of the time they were pretty good. Yeah. They were all young boys.
It's so sorry to see them, right? At young age, they got
18, 19 years old. I had one in there, he'd always call me Papa. Well, I accepted it. Instead of, and we were not supposed to raise our voice at them. Instead, we were supposed to agree with them always. Yeah, I remember that one. He used to give me big hugs, and he thought I was his dad. So what? I tried to help him. Yeah. Good memories. Yeah, when I joined, or not joined, when I got drafted, I never thought I'd wind up in something like that.
exactly, right?
But because I was a left-hand man, they didn't put me in the infantry, because when we turn around with the guns, mine was in the wrong place. That's what they always told me. So I don't know.
And you told me that you didn't know nothing about Korea, and now you were dealing with Korean War veterans who came back with the disease. What were you thinking, that you were not there, but you are still dealing with the problems of Korean War?
Well, I knew it was war, and everybody hates war, and we felt sorry for the boys. And when they come in, that's where they came from. And that started, I first heard it on the radio that time in June when they invaded South Korea.
Oh, you hear that?
I heard it on the radio that time. Well, the World War II ended 6 months before my 18th birthday, because I thought I'd be ready to go. But then from 45 to 51, was in between, was peace. 51, that's when the
50.
war broke out.
1950.
50, that's right.
Yeah, right.
Sorry.
No problem.
In June. And I was supposed to go in January, but my mother took very sick, so they gave me a 6 months deferment. So I went in the month of May. And we had our group that left from Kewaunee County must have been about 10 of us. And you know that we stayed together all the same, all the time. And most of our unit, I was a farmer boy. We had farm boys from Iowa, Minnesota, South Dakota, and then we had about 5 guys from Chicago. They were Italians, but they said they were WAPs or something like that.
WASP?
WAPs.
Uh-huh.
But I had 2 Italian friends. They were cooks, and we got to be good friends. The only reason nobody wanted to ever do KP, so I'd volunteer.
What is KP?
That was working in the kitchen,
Okay.
and I was always hungry, so I thought that's a good place to go. And they would treat us good. In the evening, when we went back to the barracks after cleaning up, they pack us a little bag, a sandwich or some goodies. And we got to be good friends. And our unit had reunions every 2 years. The last one we had was 2 years ago. My grandson took me to the last 3 of them. And I found out here about a year ago, one of my best friends in Chicago, he passed away. But we always kept in contact.
Mm-hmm.
And it was,
So, do you know you are the Korean War era veteran, right? You stationed here in Colorado, but you dealt with the Korean War veterans who had the psychiatric problem,
That's
mental
yes.
problem, and you didn't know nothing about Korea. But do you know about Korea now?
oh yes,
What do you know? Tell me.
I call her our granddaughter. Korea is one of the most prosperous countries in the world.
How do you know?
From the TV, radio, they're the most prosperous. Very good. And now that our granddaughter, she went back to Korea 2 years ago with some kind of a organization so she could see her country. She was born, that country does not allow a girl to have a child or can't keep a child without wedlock.
Mm-hmm.
So she was up for adoption, and a colored sergeant soldier 18 years ago brought her to America, to California, and my daughter picked her up at the airport.
At what age?
Huh?
At what age?
1 year old she was. He took care of her all the way while on the plane. And to this day, they still keep in contact.
So,
He took very good care of her.
so Susan's what's the last name?
What?
Your granddaughter's last name, Susan.
I don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
Oh, Gerzon.
Huh?
Gerzon. My
Gerzon.
daughter married a Filipino.
G.
G-U-E-R-Z-E-N.
Gerzon. And now, how old is she, Susan?
She's 58. She's going to retire in 2 years.
58.
58.
And retire from where?
She's a registered nurse.
In the army or just?
Oh, she works at the Sacramento Hospital. She worked there from 86. That's when she went to California.
What else do you know about the modern Korea?
Well, it's a process. They showed it on TV here again because they got that conflict over there now.
North Korea?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a shame.
it is.
I hope they don't have war because that's so nice, built up, and well, war is war, but I hope it don't happen. I pray every night because,
Are you Christian? Are you Christian?
yes,
Ah. I want to give you my book, The Gospel. This is my book.
that's your book.
Yeah.
I read lots of books. I get magazines. I read them from cover to cover.
Uh-huh. Can you show that to the camera? The cover?
Oh, sure.
That is the Gospel. Do you know what is that book about?
About Jesus Christ.
but please read the subtitle.
The gospel.
But subtitle.
Where?
The right under the gospel. What does it say?
Mark, Matthew, Luke, and John in one.
Yeah. So
That's right.
there are 4 gospels in the Bible. I put that together as one book.
You did?
Yeah?
Thank you.
So please read it.
Oh, I will.
Yeah? And yes.
I read lots.
So let me ask this question. There were sufferings of American young men and women during the war, and those include those patients that you had to dealt with. Now the Korea is one of the largest economy in the world, 11th largest economy in the world. What do you think about those sufferings and the modern Korea? The people, the Korean War veteran who had a psychiatric problem, and you have to, treat them.
Yes.
And now the Korea is from very miserable country to one of the most prosperous country in the world. What do you think about the whole thing?
I'm glad for South Korea that they prospers, because they would have never started the war. The North was the one. It showed on TV. Oh, I'm watching it now because of this conflict. North Korea is so backward. It's terrible. They don't take care of the elderly. All they think of is army. And I think of it all the time. Trump says he's going to go there, and I'm afraid he will.
Oh boy.
Can you imagine? He said he's going to go with 500 planes.
No.
There won't be, maybe the end of the world is coming. But this morning on TV, see, they're afraid they're going to hit Guam first. And that's our territory. So they're showed on TV, the airplanes, oh my God. The boats and on the ocean.
Do you think North Korea will hit Guam?
I don't think so.
Why not?
Because the American generals and Trump are really telling the North Korean boss what he's going to get. And they're even talking of hiring somebody to assassinate him. So I don't know what's going to turn out.
It's just like this. You are right. I think I agree with you. Because North Korea, Trump and other generals let North Korea know that what they're going to get after they hitting us, right? It's just like this. I know that you're going to kill me if I hit you in your face. Do you think I will hit you?
No,
Knowing that you will kill me if I hit you, right?
that's right.
It's just like that.
Yeah.
North Korea is a small country.
See, the people in North Korea, they don't want war. It's the big shot. Why? What he's got in his head now. They said that on TV, he's worse than his grandpa or his dad. His dad, they said, you could reason with him. But this guy, someday, I think, I don't know, maybe, but sooner or later, somebody's going to shoot him. It's coming. Maybe not right away, but, and those missiles that he's shooting, maybe they're exaggerating a little bit too. Who knows?
Who knows?
Because a lot of them news commentators, they like to explode. So I don't know. I watch the news because I was a veteran and I feel sorry for them people.
So what do you think about yourself as Korean War era veteran? How do you feel about it? What do you are you proud of it?
Yes, I am. But here's one thing I don't agree. We should have never quit the draft. Should have kept on, even in peacetime. 2 years of training. You learn discipline there. You learn to behave. Now the country is shoot, kill everybody, and carrying guns and robbing. Years ago, you never heard of that. Never. When I was in the service, we had 200 men in our hospital unit. Nobody had a gun. You could go any place, have a good time. When we were in Germany, in Landstuhl, that was up on a hill, we'd walk down to the guest house. And the Germans, they treated us very good because we helped them. Our pastor from the church in Luxembourg, his whole relation was there. Sisters, nephews, and he wrote to me if I wanted to see them. They were in Wiesbaden. So I went there. Them poor people didn't have nothing right after the war. I went with, see, when we were in the service, we got ration books. We could get coffee, we could get whiskey, we could get cookies and stuff in the PX. But when the first time I went there, it was lucky I could talk German. I went with 2 suitcases full of stuff. And the MPs, they knew that we were helping them. They didn't bother me. And I went on a bus, and you could only go so far. The bridges were all out. So then you had to cross the Rhine River on a wooden bridge like or something temporarily. Then you'd go there, and the first time I got there, I thought his relation were gonna squeeze me to a peanut. They were so happy. And I gave them all that stuff, because we were allowed to buy that. But they knew that I wasn't gonna drink a couple pounds of coffee. But I was treated very well. And in fact, I worked with a young German boy in the motor pool, and I went home with him. That was the best time I ever had. Yeah.
Floyd, what would you say to our young children and students about the Korean War you experienced indirectly? What would you say to them about the Korean War that you experienced in Colorado?
Well, today I think the younger generation don't pay much attention. It's go, 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 and it's a fast living. Maybe I'm wrong, but it was never like it is now.
About the Korean War, what would you say to young children?
Well, I went over there to serve my country and try to keep peace. And I think of it lots. But, well, the World War II veterans, same thing. It was not very nice. Korean War didn't last too long. World War II did, long time. I had a lot of friends that were in World War II. And where I came from, our county, It was at least 10 boys that never came back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, 3 of our good friends, they were in the Navy. A torpedo hit the boat and they went in the ocean. And people back home were really concerned. I mean, there was a while in World War II, it was not going very good. It was when Japan started in, that was the bad time. They believed in suicide. They'd take that plane and they'd go right down. They didn't care.
Kamikaze.
That's right.
Yeah. So Floyd, I want to thank you for your service in Denver, Colorado, treating and taking care of the Korean War veterans who had a psychiatric mental problem, and that's your legacy as a Korean War era veterans. And thank you for sharing your story with me today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, I think of it quite often. And now with this conflict over there, I think of it more. And that I have a granddaughter that's from Korea. That's worse yet.
Yep. Yep.
But that girl, she came here. She don't remember her parent or grandparents. No, I mean, but she's a good girl. She's going to college now, and then now for the summer, she works at a fast food.
You mean Susan?
No, her daughter.
Her daughter. Okay. Yeah.
And my daughter only had one boy. They couldn't have a family, and then finally they got this one boy, but he graduated now from college, and I call him at least every 2 weeks, and he's going to start working next week in San Francisco.
Great.
He's 22 years old.
Great.
He's